It's been a busy week with weather. I had several work projects going on this week, and I'm kind of wiped, but I did stop by my LCS. So, this is James for Read More Comics. Please do like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. I'm going to be sharing my polls this week. I did pick them up a day late, but if there's something that strikes your fancy, if you look at that and go, hey, that's interesting, I also pulled that, I like that character, whatever, leave me a comment, leave me a question. Let's have a conversation. So as I shared, it has been a really busy week. I had a couple work projects going on, have some things going on at home, and then on top of that, we had a snow system move in. For those of you in other parts of the United States or around the world, you might not be aware of what lake effect snow is, but we had a system blowing in off of Lake Michigan, and it shut everything down in the adjoining town where I live. It was just winter. We got some snow. Anyway, my LCS is in beautiful Mishawaka, Indiana, and they got upwards of, like, I think some parts of Mishawaka, they got up to 18 inches, which was a lot. Let me show you what I got. So I stopped by my LCS on Thursday. Yeah. And I also picked up some dinner after that. My wife had a hankering for Hacienda, one of our local Mexican restaurant chains. So there was a little interlude in between. I stopped at Half Price Books, and I also got to do some dollar bin diving there. First up, we have Aquaman, issue number 30. This is the A cover. It's a DCKO tie-in, and I'm a little bit behind on reading DCKO. However, this Aquaman run has been really good. I think the creative team, especially the writer, is exploring some different possibilities for Aquaman. I enjoy the character. I think the Jason Momoa movies were a lot of fun, but it goes all the way back to Super Friends. Anyway, I think they're finding his groove. They're finding a place where Aquaman fits in the MCU. And so it's been kind of a fun journey. Highly recommend this title. We have Batman and Robin, issue number 29. This is the A cover also, and this is the penultimate issue of, is it Philip Kennedy Johnson? I think so. If not, I'll correct it right here. Anyway, his run on Batman and Robin, which started way back, I think in issue 14, and it's been a phenomenal story though so far. It saddens me that he is leaving. I think he signed a Marvel exclusive contract, which is great for him. I totally respect a creator doing what he needs to do to support himself, and I don't know anything about him, family, whatever. However, this has been a good, Bruce Wayne, Damian Wayne story so far. It's been very grounded, a lot of detective work, some elements of the fantastic. Highly recommend this book. He's going over, and I think I actually have another book he's writing. We'll get to that in a moment. We have DCKO issue number 3. This is the acetate version. In hindsight, would I have pulled the acetate version? Probably, because I'm a gimmick. I like the gimmick. I'm really only getting this because of the potential tie-in between the Absolute Universe and the main DC Universe. That's it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be pulling this. We have Dungeons of Doom, and this is where Johnson's showing up. So I saw this on Comics Hub, and it kind of piqued my interest for two reasons. One, Philip Kennedy Johnson did an awesome job in Batman and Robin, so I want to read some of his other work. I loved One World Under Doom. I think low-key it's one of the best Marvel crossover events in a long time, and really helped put Doctor Doom in this position where people are kind of attracted to the character. I think that connects to the new Avengers movie. And so Marvel, where they've been stumbling a lot, this seems to be one they haven't. It also strikes that this is an interesting title for me. It's only 3 issues, which is kind of weird. And it is kind of looking at the backlash of One World Under Doom. Dr. Doom is dead. Who's inheriting all of his stuff? So that's what this is all about. I saw some previews online. Looks really good. We have G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, issue number 324. One thing that kind of struck my attention when I saw this, I'll kind of put that up there. You know, obviously something's going on in space, which is cool because I remember when like the G.I. Joe space shuttle came out, it was a toy that was outside of my family's budget to ever purchase. A lot of the bigger G.I. Joe vehicles were. I did have the G.I. Joe base, but my parents got that from a garage sale on the cheap. Had a bunch of action figures. Those are things I could purchase mowing yards back in the day. Vehicles were things I got on birthdays or Christmas. But the big vehicles, you know, like the shuttle, never saw. Anyway, when I saw this cover, one thing that struck out to me, and I'm hoping it comes up in the story, is in the G.I. Joe cartoon, you never saw anybody die. And I know in the G.I. Joe movie, they rewrote the ending after the backlash of Optimus Prime dying in the Transformers movie. Originally, for those of you who don't know, spoilers, this is for, what, 35 years, 40 years coming, Duke was supposed to die. In this current run, and it's a more mature story, it's written for adults, I get all that. You have these firefights, and it's kind of just the nameless drones, the faceless NPCs that are dying. And I don't think, I don't feel that's real, you know. So it's not that every week we need to see a Joe pass away having died in combat. But I think it would be, would allow for an element of realism if, yeah, there's some characters that just don't make it, or they're dealing with some things, you know. Anyway, kind of grim. We have Star Wars Legacy of Vader. This is issue number 12. This, in my opinion, is the best Star Wars book currently being published, and arguably probably in the top 5. You know, the Darth Vader books were amazing. This is a really good story, and I recommend it. This is a back issue. We have The Will of Doom by Chip Zdarsky. I think it came out a couple weeks back. I missed it when it first came out. This is dealing immediately with the fallout of One World Under Doom, with Doom dying. What is his will? So I'm looking forward to reading this. Just looking at the heft of the book, it is a larger book. Whatever the reviews I've read, sorry, got eye gunk. Chip Zdarsky tells a really good story, and I've enjoyed his work. I think he's a better Marvel writer than a DC writer. I think his writing on Batman was good, but it's not as good as Matt Fraction. So, no insults intended to Matt Fraction or Chip Zdarsky. We have the Exo Man of War. This is a Valiant Beyond the God Hunt Part 1 of 4. And it's interesting. This is supposed to be issue 5 of the miniseries, but it doesn't have the number 5 anywhere on the cover. I thought this was let me show this. Cool cover. I thought this was another title. But CLZ is showing it as issue number 5. So this is a book that I've just been kind of waiting on after Alien Books dragged their feet with publishing some other stuff. I didn't feel it worth my time to dive in and then have to wait until they get their act together. So I'm a big Exo fan, so I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, after this, I had some time. I put in a mobile order. The Hacienda is in a strip mall right on the other side of a street where Half Price Books is in a competing strip mall. So went to Half Price Books. I dug around, and I've been keeping in mind, I'm sorry. Oh, man. Allergies acting up. I've been keeping in mind my collecting goal, and I'm going to be sharing that in a video coming up in a couple days. My SMART goals for this year, and I went through all their back issues. Half price books now, their back issues are $1 or $2. They've gone up. It was originally, when I first started going there, it was like $1, then $1.50. $1.50 I think is what it was. So $2. Still a decent price for a back issue. They have, sometimes you can find some keys in there or minor keys for $2 because the people that manage that don't always know everything about comic books. I think they do their research though. They're not bagging and boarding everything, which is a little irritating because that does affect condition. And for me, I do want, even if it's a back issue, I do want a better copy if I can get it. So, they didn't have any of the back issues I'm looking for my my hunting goal for this year. They did though have a bunch of Aquaman comic books. I think I shared this in a prior video. Someone purged their Aquaman collection, and they had some volume 1 issues. They had some volume 2. I'm focusing, I think the Peter David run is in volume 5, I think. And so I'm picking up a couple at a time. I don't want to just like walk out with a stack of books because I have a comic book budget. So I went through and I found, here's 6 books. So it was $12. And they're all in really nice condition. The corners are sharp, no spine ticks that I see, no color breaks, and considering these books are what they came out in 97, so 28, 30 years old, that's not bad, So we have issue number 28, and this is a crossover between Martian Manhunter and Aquaman based on the cover. It's very cool. Okay. Very 90s looking book with the skull in the background. When I first saw it, and I haven't read this yet, I thought it was Black Mask, but that doesn't seem to fit. Looking at what we have going on in the background, this looks like Japanese. I've been doing Japanese on Duolingo, so it looks like kanji to me right there. It says vengeance because it says so. And then we have issue number 29, Black Manta, Black Death. Very 90s cover. I do like this look right here with the hook hand. This is an amazing cover. So this is by, I think it's the artist who does the interiors. I'm not sure who it is. This is Aquaman issue number 30, but considering this is an all black cover, it is sharp. So check this out. That's super cool. We have a shark cover, Feeding Frenzy. This is issue number 31. Swamp Thing crossover, which he wouldn't do again, I think, until the New 52, so a couple volumes later. We have issue number 32. And then we have issue number 33. So that's it with that. I'm getting close to the end of the Peter David run. I think he ran into the 40s. I don't think it was low 40s. I would think it was issue 49 or so. So at this rate, a couple more stops at Half Price Books, I might be there or I might not. I don't know. It's just kind of low key. Hey, if there's nothing else there, I'll pick up some comics. So there you have it. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you for watching, listening to me ramble on about the comics I pulled this week and the comics I was able to pick up at Half Price Books. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Life is so much better, even when it's busy, when we can read more comics. Thanks for watching.